Now, speaking of laying the design out, if I'll get my giant head out of the way, you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm drawing an octopus, and I've got some reference material that I keep looking back and forth at. But what I'm thinking, and this in my mind is the most important part of laying out a hand and knuckle tattoo, and that is how we determine where we focus the viewer's attention. So we want to simplify as much as possible when it gets down to knuckles and fingers, like I've kind of laid out there, and we want to focus the attention on the area that we can get the most detail in with the least amount of effort, and with also the area that that tends to hold up better for longer periods of time. So by that, I guess I mean I'm not going to go and try to put the most important areas down on his middle finger or down into his fingers at all. I'm going to focus the most important areas up on the palm of his, I'm sorry, not the palm, up on the back of his hand. So the eye, the head, is where my focal points will be. Now, notice that I'm trying to use his actual knuckles to create some of the little suckers on the tentacles. I'm drawing those directly on top of his knuckles. Doing that for a couple of reasons. First reason is that I'm trying to use the space as efficiently as possible, and that's an area that already kind of lends itself to that kind of shape. Since the knuckles are kind of round and those little suckers are kind of round, I thought that was a good reason to do that. The second reason is that I know that knuckles don't typically hold all that well, so I want some consistency in the inconsistency, I guess, for lack of a better term. So meaning if I were to lay a couple of those suckers up on his hand where they're going to hold really well, and then one or two of them fell down onto his knuckle, then I would have some inconsistencies within those little suckers. And whereas if I place them all on his knuckles or all in the same area, if they do fall out to a certain extent, at least they all kind of fall out the same, and they read kind of on the same plane. So that was my thought process there. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. That's just the way that I approached this one. And then you'll notice as we move down that I'm getting more and more general, more and more abstract the further that I move down.